Yo, what is up, guys? You're watching Epic Pokemon TCG, and today what I got for you guys is going to be a Honchkrow deck profile. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, this deck is a lot of fun, and I was kind of up in the air about covering stuff for this current format, even with, the rotation coming up so soon. But honestly, I really like this deck. I think this deck is cool. Honchkrow is a pretty awesome Pokemon, so I decided, why not? We'll cover it. And so here you go, guys. Here's the list. So we're going to go ahead and hop right into it here, guys, taking a look at Honchkrow GX. Now, Honchkrow GX does have the ability Ruler of the Night, which makes this thing really, really good. This is very similar to Giratina EX's attack. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play any Pokemon Tool, Special Energy, or Stadium cards in their hand. So basically, as long as Honchkrow is in the active spot, your opponent is going to be shut down from a lot of the stuff that they can do. It also has the attack Featherstorm for 90, and then it does 30 to two of your opponent's GX or EXs. So that's pretty good. You're able to do 90 damage, and then of course you can throw a Choice Band on this to do a little more damage. On top of that, you can soften up some Pokemon, get some damage on the board. And we'll actually be getting to the other Honchkrow here in just a second, because that kind of helps out its attack too. But it also has Unfair GX. This is actually very, very nice. You can use this GX attack, and your opponent reveals their hand. You can discard two cards from it, which is really good. Definitely a pretty powerful attack. But along with three Honchkrow GX, we run one regular Honchkrow. Now, Honchkrow is pretty good, okay? First off, it has Feint Attack. It does 30 to one of your opponent's Pokemon, which has synergy with its second attack. Now, the second attack is really what we're going to be showcasing with this deck, and that is going to be Raven's Claw. So, as you guys saw, uh, Honchkrow GX does 90, and then it does 30 to two of your opponent's EX or GXs. Now, 90 damage, that isn't a lot. I mean, honestly, compared to what's out now, but still, that's a decent amount of damage. And with your opponent not really being able to play anything down, if you're able to just kind of lock them out of certain stuff, that damage is going to be, just kind of building up over time. And then, late game, you can bring in Honchkrow, or when there's just enough damage on the board, you can attach a DC to it and then do a ton of damage with Raven's Claw, which is actually a pretty solid card. Really nice addition to this deck. And just, honestly, it's a one prize attacker that is really helpful. And speaking of one prize attacker, so as you guys did read or heard, whatever, I'm pretty sure you guys were reading the card. Roll Over the Night basically stops your opponent from playing stadium cards down, which is beautiful with a card in here called Black Market. When a dark Pokemon, yours or your opponent's, that has any dark energy attached to it is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, that player takes one fewer prize card. So when you have a Honchkrow in the active spot, and you play down Black Market or Black Market's already down, whatever, it's pretty much locked there unless they just get around the ability or something like that. So that's really, really helpful. So, whenever Honchkrow GX goes down, they only take one prize card as long as a Dark Energy is attached to it. And of course, we do run Unit Energy, and we also run Dark Energy. The Unit Energy is in here so that way you can take advantage of Buzzwole. Buzzwole is a really solid attacker. It's a one prize attacker, which kind of fits with the theme of this deck when you have Black Market out. But it has Sledgehammer for 30, and then if you have exactly few prize cards, yeah, if your opponent has exactly few prize cards, so, blah, blah, I can't speak. If your opponent has exactly four prize cards, I'm alright, I promise. This attack does 90 more damage. So basically, if one Honchkrow goes down without Black Market, or just two Pokemon go down with Black Market, you guys know the scenario. You can bring this up, and you can do 120 to it, and then in turn later on, that basically just makes Raven's Claw or something along those lines just do more damage. On top of that is also a really nice counter to Zoroark. This can do a lot of damage to Zoroark. It has Swing Around for 80 as well, flip two coins, and this does 20 more damage for each hedge with a base of 80. So that's pretty nice. But we also run Tapu Koko in here. Tapu Koko is not only just a free retreater that is very helpful, it also has the attack Flying Flip. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So Flying Flip's going to be doing a couple things in this deck on top of just kind of putting some damage on the board, softening up your opponent's Pokemon. It's also going to kind of be fueling Raven's Claw. Raven's Claw is just that attack you can kind of pull out of nowhere, when there's a bunch of damage on the board, which I think is really nice, especially with Duststone. I can't believe I forgot to talk about that card. So here we go. Duskstone, this is why Honchkrow is pretty much like pretty good. All right, so it's really nice. Search your deck for a Mismagius, Honchkrow, Chandelure, or Aegislash, including Pokemon GX that evolves from one of your Pokemon in play, and put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. You can use this card during your first turn or on a Pokemon that was put into play this turn, which is really nice. So you basically can grab Mismagius, Honchkrow, Chandelure, Aegislash, and their GX forms. I don't know. I don't want to say that there's not going to be GX forms for all these Pokemon in the near future. Just throwing it out there. So basically, if you start with a Honchkrow or with a Murkrow, and you can just kind of dust stone, which also makes Tapu Koko really nice as well because if you start with this Pokemon, you can dust stone immediately, retreat it, and then you just kind of get like the lock in place right there. You get like honestly a turn one Ruler of the Night is just super powerful with this deck, and it just really hinders your opponent. So yeah, Tapu Koko has been a great card pretty much ever since it's come out. Flying Flip is just a softening attack, and then the free retreat is it's honestly just a bonus. So the card that really is going to help this deck out a bunch, is a card that has been on the controversial side of Pokemon, which is actually funny because this has happened multiple times with me trying to get gameplays for this deck. I have opened with a turn one Duststone, and I get Ruler of the Night out, and then I will Marsh out on my opponent to 4, and they just concede. So Marshadow, you can run 2 in here. That is an option. I took out 1 because I kept starting with it and it was annoying me. So that's why there's only 1 in here. But Marshadow has Let Loose. Of course, it is basically judged when you play this card down. Both you and your opponent shuffle, and then you draw 4. Now, with Ruler of the Night shutting down Stadium, Special Energy, and tool cards, whatever, Let Loose is going to pretty much kind of just take out a lot of stuff out of their hand, and it's honestly just really annoying to deal with. So not only are you going to be able to lock down your opponent, but you're potentially going to be able to really upset an oversensitive Pokemon player, which is that's honestly just a bonus. That's a good way to have some extra fun. But on top of locking down with this deck, we also have a Alolan Muck in here with the power of Alchemy. Each basic Pokemon in play in each player's hand, and each player's discard pile has no abilities, so Alolan Muck is going to be shutting down just some basic Pokemon's abilities, which is really nice. And we're going to play that along with Alolan Grimer here with Chemical Breath, just if that ever comes up. But it's also the Dark type in here, and I decided, what, why not? Since we're running Black Market, you never know, you might want to throw down a Dark Energy on your Grimer if you just can't draw into the Muck or some kind of crazy shenanigans happens. But that's why I went with that Grimer. We also run Ditto. Ditto is really nice. You can pretty much just evolve into your Muck or your Honchkrows, which is really good. And then we're going to round it out with 2 Tapu Lele GX. This is just in here basically just to increase your consistency. Wonder Tag is an amazing attack, or ability attack. What am I talking about? Energy Drive is a good attack. You can just 20 damage for each energy on defending Pokemon. Each defending Pokemon. I can't speak today. Good God. The supporter count, honestly, is very generic. We have 4 Cynthia, 3 Judge, 4 Lily. It's the same old, same old. We also have 4 Crushing Hammer in here as well. The ability says special energy, but not basic energy. So you can kind of shut down your opponent a little more. Just kind of get some disruption in there. But we also have 1 Escape Rope. You never know when that might come in handy. We have 3 Nest Ball just to kind of pull some basics out of your deck, along with 4 Ultra Ball just to search out your Honchkrow, search out all that other good stuff. Ultra Ball can turn into a supporter. And then we have Rescue Stretcher in here in case you need to get some Pokemon back. And, Choice Band is in here basically just to kind of increase some damage. And then, of course, I already went over the energy count. I'm going to miss you, DC. But yeah, honestly, the strategy of this deck is basically just to set up Honchkrow GX and then, use Ruler of the Night, shut down your opponent. I only have 1 Marshall in here, like I said, because I kept starting with it and it personally just got on my nerves. But Feather Storm's a really solid attack, even because basically when you think about it, yes, it is only going to be doing 90 to 120, but at the same time, your opponent's not able to play down all their stuff. So, that's going to kind of slow them down a little bit. And then Unfair GX, if you're just I've honestly Marshadowed and Unfair GX'd my opponent before, and that's kind of the strategy you can do with this deck. But I really wanted to cover this deck before it did completely rotate out and we lose a lot of the cards for this deck because I think this deck is cool. I think it's fun. Yes, it's annoying to face. It is definitely annoying to face, but still nonetheless, I wanted to get another deck profile on my channel before the rotation. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, guys. I love you. And this is Epic Pokemon TCG signing out.